Is this a real alien spaceship flying low over this city? So let's see what questions we have only on Paranormal, True or False. It is free to subscribe. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Thank you. Is this a tree spirit? As this lady walks through this park, suddenly a head pops around a tree. Who or what is this? Is it a ghost? Is it some type of tree spirit or fairy? Is it demonic and dangerous? Chances are this is a public park and that's a living human being. This park is located closer to the Arctic Circle, which is making it look like it's nighttime, but this is actually daytime for them. Is this a poltergeist? They placed a static camera in front of this closet door. What happens next is surprising. We suddenly see the door on the left, and it wasn't there before, and it hits the camera and knocks it over. But that's not it. The camera moves slightly. Then the door on the right closes too. This could be paranormal, or it could be a string, or someone hiding on the inside where we couldn't see them. Not sure. Definitely creepy. Are these UFOs? Suddenly, we see all these objects that look like they're flying in the sky. Is it a swarm of UFOs? They are indistinctive, look like they're glittering, and seem very random. Is this an alien invasion? Is it possible that this is just parachuters that are just swarming around the skies with some type of reflection on their shoes? What if we change our perspective? Is it possible we're not looking at the sky, but we're looking at some type of a particle that floats in water? What if we were looking through a microscope? Could this be parasites in a petri dish? This type of footage is so vague, and there's no reference points to it, that there's really no way to know one way or another what this is. But this does show how easy it is to fool the human eye. When we first start to zoom in, it almost looks like bubbles coming out of the water. And of course, once I started pointing out to you that it could be something in a microscope or in water, all of a sudden now you're seeing that instead of something in the sky. So this video can mess with both your eyes, but when somebody gives you the power of suggestion, like I did, then it messes with your mind. The reality is, I don't know what this is, but if it's in the sky, it's going to be parachuters. If it's in water, it's some type of a bead or foam that floats. And if it's a microscope, well, then it's a parasite. Is a ghost rocking this horse? As the camera is pointed into the room, suddenly the horse starts to rock on its own. Is a ghost rocking this horse? Or, if you notice, there's a window right above the horse, and it doesn't have glass on the one side of it. So, is it possible it's just wind blowing through that open window? They place a stationary camera into the room, and we get another angle of this horse rocking. We can still see there's glass on the left side of that window, but we can't tell if there's any window or glass on the right side. And the horse goes back to rocking. It still looks to me like the window is open, and most likely it's the wind that is blowing that rocking horse. Did a shadow person turn on these lights? Initially, all lights are off in this building, but suddenly, on the left-hand side, the lights turn on. The camera operator thought the building was abandoned, so he immediately turned off his lights. As the camera continues to point at the doors, we will suddenly see a dark shadow come towards the doors. It appears to be floating. Is it real? Then it turns to the right and disappears. Is this a shadow person or a real person? Is it a ghost? A spirit? A hoax? And how does it just disappear in the end? Is there something blocking that other door that allowed them to walk behind it? It's definitely creepy and definitely interesting. I just don't know that it's paranormal. The problem with abandoned buildings is they may not be abandoned, and this could be a criminal ring, and that's a lookout. I would definitely say it's dangerous, even if it's not paranormal. Is this a shadow person? The camera operator suddenly spins around and shines the camera into a dark room, and on the right-hand side, we will suddenly see a dark shadow cross the doorway. Did you see it? Did you see it? We'll slow it down right there, and it just runs straight across. It's definitely short. Its head is not even to the height of the doorknob. So is this a spirit of a child? Unfortunately, the camera operator turned away right when this thing got into the middle of the door frame, so we didn't get to see what direction it went in. Could it be a bat? Could it be CG or some type of video effect? I'm not a video or CG expert, but I know that when you see blurring of the lines, like what we're seeing underneath this object, oftentimes that's a masking effect. I don't know if that's what's happening in this image or not. So for me, it's either some type of a video effect, CG effect, it is really paranormal, or it's a kid that's just all dressed in black running across there. I'm not sure on this one. I think I could probably recreate it as a video effect. Kind of like me just putting this skull portrait in here and then turning animation on so that it appears within this video image. So I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below, let me know. What is this blue light? So we're looking into the sky over California, and all of a sudden we see this just blue streak of light from multiple angles above this airport. This is an airplane, and that is their contrail. When the atmospheric conditions are right, the condensation that is left behind the planes will bubble like this and just look like it's something from out of this world, but it's simply their contrail. And I don't know how to explain it exactly because I don't know all the scientific methodologies that have to work for that to exist. But I do know it's an airplane, not a space alien ship. I'm sure someone in my comment section can explain the science behind this, but I do know it's all about atmospheric environment, temperature, things of that nature, and it just happens to be at night. Is this a ghost? So again, we have people wandering around an abandoned building. It looks kind of like a hospital, but at the end of the corridor, they see a dark shadow person. When I was a small child under the age of 5, I looked over to this one side of my bedroom and I saw this dark, shadowy figure. I was so scared. I just started screaming for my mom. I finally got the courage to turn on the light. It was my jacket, hanging on a hook. And the hood of this dark jacket was hanging by the hook, and it had fur just right around the hood. And so, yes, it looked exactly like a human being. So, whenever I see images like this, I never think shadow person. I always think, oh, jacket with the hood hanging on a hook. So, for whatever reason, I'm sure that I'd probably freak out if I actually saw this in person. But when I'm watching things like this, I'm never afraid because of that incident that happened when I was a baby. Okay, not a baby, but a small toddler. So I don't know if this is truly paranormal or if it is just something hanging on a hook. Could it be a bar stool with a high back on it? Or could it be a person playing a prank? I don't know. I'm not convinced it's paranormal though, simply because it's too easy to recreate. Is this really a flying saucer? As we look into the sky, we see what appears to be the traditional flying saucer. It goes behind this building and then rises above it. It appears to be visible for quite some time. It appears to be wobbling quite a bit. I can't help but wonder what an intelligent species that's capable of entering Earth's atmosphere build a ship that wobbles this much. I mean, Earthlings, we create spaceships too, but ours blow up because we keep using the lowest bidders. I can't help but wonder, is this just CG? Is it video effects? Is it some type of a illusion where this is actually a miniature set? Did they just rip off some movie? Because look at this. I can change the color and I can make it go flying the opposite direction just through editing tools. I can even turn the video upside down. Not convinced this one is real. What is this dark creature? So as these men are looking around this field in the darkness, they will suddenly turn to their right, and we will see a dark shape. What is that? Is it a person? Is it a shadow person? Is it a creature? Is it dangerous? Or is it simply an optical illusion and it's actually a shadow caused by that post or tree stump? If the person not holding the camera is holding a flashlight on the left side of the camera, isn't it possible that that shadow is actually coming from that tree stump? I think that bush is actually in front of the tree stump, which is causing that shadow to look like it's actually standing up. I'm going to say no, it's not paranormal. This gives a new meaning to flying fortress. As the camera is pointed out the window, we will suddenly see a dark gray shape in the lower right-hand corner. It doesn't look like it has wings. What is that thing? When we zoom in on the object, it still doesn't look like it has any wings. How is it staying in the air? Could we just be looking at the top of a B-2 Spirit bomber? Or could it be the top of a Russian Ikra plane Bartini? Is it simply an optical illusion that's causing us to not see the wings because of the angle? Militaries build unique planes for certain functions throughout the world, and I don't know which nation might have built this plane, but I'm sure this is a military plane, not a spaceship. Who is knocking? Normally I don't do audio analysis because it's too easy to set up a speaker and just create a sound that we can't see in frame of the camera. But this one, it looks like to me the door is actually shaking when the pounding is happening. Now again, a speaker could be causing that vibration in the door. I'm not sure. This is just one of those clips where it doesn't matter if it's real or not. It is just creepy, and I thought I would just share it with you. As is, you can decide for yourself if it's real or not. I think it actually might be real, but I'm not sure. And they claim you can hear someone say help right there. I can't hear it. Leave a comment below and let me know if you think this one's real. If you agree or disagree with my analysis, please leave a comment below. You will find links to social media platforms for this channel as well as for Jim Riley in the description below. Be safe and don't investigate alone. If you appreciate this type of analytical analysis, please subscribe. And remember, question everything. Thanks for watching Paranormal, True or False.